Hello, I'm the Amazing Atheist. Welcome to Free Speech Motherfucking Vids. You know, here's a fun experiment that you can do. If you feel like doing some crazy experimental stuff, you want to do a fun little activity, maybe you could do this with your family. What you do is you take 30 or 40 emotionally disturbed kids. You know, like the kind of kids where their daddy comes home and beats the shit out of them. And, you know, later on that night he sneaks into their bedroom and tells them how much he loves them and strokes their hair, and then he fucks them up the ass until the morning comes. You know, get some fucking kids like that. Some really fucked up little kids. And then what you do is you take them all and you send them off to a warehouse that's filled with demented pedophile circus clowns with sadistic mean streaks who will torture and molest these kids on a daily basis, okay? They get raped and tortured by these sadistic circus clowns on a daily basis, okay? So you fuck them up even worse. You started off with fucked up kids, now you've really fucked them up. And then, as the fucked up cherry on the fucked up sundae, you take these kids at night and you put them in little isolation booths, barely big enough for them to wriggle a fucking inch in. And you play 2 radio shows in a loop in both their ears. One is the Alex Jones show, and it's always blaring in this ear. And the other is the Glenn Beck show, and it's always blaring in this ear. And that is how they have to spend every single night. So these little kids spend their days getting raped by circus clowns, and then they spend their nights getting ear-raped by media clowns. So these kids are going to be fucked up beyond all recognition. But that's not the experiment part. That's just to get the conditions right. After these kids, after 2 or 3 years of this sort of torture, you take whatever kids are left, whatever kids haven't found a way to commit suicide before then, and you set them all in a classroom, and you give each one a little white ping pong ball and a fine-tipped felt marker. And you tell every kid, write a single sentence on the ping pong ball. Now bear in mind, this is the first time these kids have had a chance to express themselves after years and years of terrible, terrible abuse. And these clowns that are fucking these kids are not fucking around. These clowns have big old painted dicks, okay? And when they fuck these kids, their assholes look like wind tunnels with a Niagara Falls of clown cum just dripping out non-stop. Like you think it's going to stop, but it just keeps pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, and you can't believe your fucking eyes. So that's how fucked up these kids are. And this is their first chance to express themselves on the little ping pong ball. They start writing down their little sentence because they're so happy to finally be able to express the fucked up thoughts in their fucked up little heads. Okay? And then you go around, you collect all the ping pong balls, and you put them all in a big bingo lottery machine, one of those things that just bounces the balls around inside and selects them at random. And you start letting the balls go down the little chute, and then you collect them one by one, and each ball you pick, you just write down what it says on a piece of paper. And when you're all done, folks, when every single ball has been collected and you've written down every single sentence in the order dictated by the little bingo machine, guess what you will have? You will have something that approaches how fucked up and how stupid a Kassiedill video is. That's how stupid and crazy this bitch is. Check this shit out.
You know about the bankers controlling the Federal Reserve. You know about the FEMA camps. You know about the Illuminati. You know that 9/11 was an inside job.
This is some good shit. If I was a connoisseur of crazy, I would be like, oh, magnifique, because that is some good shit. Lots of people believe this crazy shit, but rarely do you see them just lay it out one after another. All their crazy beliefs right in a little row.
The oddest thing of all to me is that feminists, while their entire agenda is pushing women to be whores and
Hey, look, I hate feminists too. I think feminism is stupid and antiquated. But at least when I argue against feminists, I try to sort of stick with their actual position. I don't come out of left field with some weird-ass straw man like, you're trying to turn women into whores. Because first of all, little girl, if the agenda of feminists was to turn women into whores, I wouldn't be anti-feminist. I'd be on that bandwagon. I'd be like, I'm a feminist! What they're all about is the horrors of the patriarchy and how men are keeping them down and boo-hoo and blah blah and all that bullshit. Now let me be clear, I don't agree with them. I think they're fucking stupid. But I think you are way fucking stupider.
I think my theory is that they don't like pornography because they don't want the reality of their agenda being shown.
So you're saying that feminists don't like porn because it shows the world that would result if feminists were in control. Every man would be a feminist if that was the world that was going to result from feminism. These are masculine fantasies. They're not feminine fantasies. This is the fantasy where you're a fucking disgusting low-life plumber who just walks in to fix a leak under the sink, and the next thing you know, 7 hot blondes are sucking your cock from 1,000 different angles. That is a man's fantasy, alright? And that's the plot of the majority of professionally produced porn. It's the cable guy, or the plumber, or, it's just some random asshole hitchhiker off the street, or it's some guy who's like sneaking in the bushes looking through the window. These are the fantasies of men, which is what feminists object to. They say, oh, this objectifies women, and this shows women in a harsh and negative light. And it's stupid of them to say that, because everyone understands it's just a stupid masculine fantasy for guys to jerk off to. But that is their position, their real position, their stated position. You are going off on this weird, tangential, nothing to do with anything direction. Do you think you can win an argument in real life by just making shit up about your opponents? I mean, you are the stupidest fucking cunt in existence. How do you go around like, well, hey, that fucking said shit, fuck that, He fucking supports killing babies, and he raped a goat once. And it's so amazing to me that you can act as though you have moral superiority over anyone when you will just bold-face lie and distort your opponent's positions. And the reason I chose your anti-feminist videos is because I am an avowed anti-feminist. And I am here defending the feminist position to you because you're trying to distort it. You're trying to turn it into something it's not, which is bullshit. Because you have no real fucking argument. You can't handle the actual argument, so you just make some shit up. Well, the reason they don't like porn is because in their world, that's what the world is like, in the fucking crazy porn world, yeah! And they don't want you to see the truth. You know what? If that was what feminists were going for, they would love to show us the truth, because every man would be on the fucking bandwagon in a heartbeat. Haven't you ever seen the Stepford Wives? That's basically the world of porn. So don't you think that feminists would just be raring to show us that shit? Like, hey, this is the world you could have if you get behind the feminist agenda. Because every guy in the world would be like, well, that looks good. Fuck yeah, stamp of approval. Let's do it. You disgust me. You fucking stupid cunt. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I completely agree with the fact that, in the traditional household roles, I believe that, the woman should stay at home and raise the children. I believe in homeschooling. I disagree with birth control and abortion.
That's fine. Believe that. Live that. But don't try to push it off on other fucking people. We don't agree. We're not obliged to agree. And yet you're just trying to force your agenda down other people's throats. It's not even like, hey, let's have a discussion about why this lifestyle might be the best for you. It's like, hey, this is what I believe, and that's the way society needs to be structured. Fuck that shit!
Don't believe that there should be women preachers. I would never want to be a woman preacher. I would never go to a church that had a woman preacher. The Bible very clearly says that, women should be silent in the church.
Yeah, well, the Bible says a lot of fucking things. But you know what? I agree with you. I wouldn't go to a church with a woman preacher either. In fact, I wouldn't go to a church with any preacher. In fact, I wouldn't go to a church. So I guess that we kind of agree on this one in a fucked up, twisted, sort of not really way.
I would never, vote for a woman in politics. I, would never run for political office.
You know what? That is the first sensible thing that you have said. Don't ever run for public office. Please, don't do it. We don't need another Sarah Palin. We don't need an even dumber Sarah Palin, I should say.
I want a man who respects my opinion, and it is very hard to find a guy who accepts those traditional roles, who is, you know, is cool with a woman, you know, wanting to stay at home and wanting to homeschool her kid, and agrees with me about stuff like abortion and homeschooling and blah, 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 but yet also doesn't mind a woman who expresses her opinion.
Yo, Jesus freak, I think you better hit this shit while the hitting's good. I mean, aside from the her having an opinion thing, I think this crazy bitch is right up your fucking alley.
If you become pregnant, then that means that this one little sperm out of all the millions of other sperm made his way. He fought through thick and thin to get into that ovary. I mean, it's just an absolute miracle. I'm a sperm. Yeah, and then you kill him.
Wow, Cassie, I never thought of it that way.